Hi, Scotch Bob here again. I'm tying one of my balance flies, and this one's slightly different from the rest of the ones I've tied. And it's only because I've seen somebody tying this on the internet. I thought, that's a blooming good idea. And I set about trying to copy his style of tying. And I must admit, it took me 2 or 3 goes to get it, I think, reasonably okay. So I've got a size 10 jig hook in the vise, and I'm busy wrapping on a dressmaker's needle with a tungsten bead on it. This is my ballerina style flies where they're balanced, where the tungsten bead balances the hook. I'll show you at the end of the tying exactly what I mean. It's on the website somewhere else, on if you've or the YouTube channel somewhere else if you've seen it before. So just tie that down. Normally I'll put a wee bit of super glue on it. Well, I've stopped doing that because I've found out you don't need to do it. You're just wasting super glue. Anyway, and that's me ready for the body. Now the body can be anything you want, but these upcoming winter months, the colour that I done pretty well with, either on the tail or on the body, most consistently was white and yellow. So I thought, why don't I combine the two of them? So for this instance, I'm going to put a white straggle flex on, and it's not a big heavy straggle flex, it's quite a lightweight straggle flex. So you can control exactly what much body you're putting on, because first of all, the thing you don't want to do is crowd that jig hook eye, because when you're in the water in the middle of the winter, it can be difficult to get into the jig hook eye if you've crowded it all up with a big heavy body, unless you've cut away around the jig hook eye, which I sometimes forget to do, etc. So you get to the water, you take one of these out, and it's the winter, your hands are frozen, and you can hardly get into the jig hook. So I'm putting in a light body, a light yellow body with straggle flex. I think it's just to give it more or less colour, the yellow colour, the yellow flash in the body. Sorry, I bumped the camera there. Anyway, that's that. Now this is simplicity still, other than where you've had to put to balance the jig up with the dressmaking needle and the tungsten bead in the head. You can see that'll balance it up. But I'll show you that at a minute. Now, to put on the tail in the overview, you've got to take your hook and turn it to there. And what you need to do is move your thread to behind the eye. And on this piece of mink, you get the piece that you're looking for with the tail on it, and that's about flatten it back that way. So what I want to do is open it up there, and then this piece here, this piece of skin here, there, and that piece of skin, and just let me alter this so I can see what I'm doing, and that piece of skin there, and that piece of skin with my thumb is, you want to cut a wee slot in it, and that wee slot you'll see how it's necessary. Just let me cut the wee slot on it. Now that wee slot cut in place, you offer it up to the eye of the hook, and you slip it over the eye of the hook, making sure you've got the fur out the way, over the eye of the hook. And then to finish it off, to keep it in place, just get your hook point and force it through the skin. In fact, we'll leave that just now. We'll tie that in because I think it'll be easier to tie it in just a couple of times, just to hold it there. I'll snip this off because I don't really need it now. Just let me snip this off. Get that back into line, and a couple of turns there, just to hold it in place, and then get the skin get your scissors and force the eye of the hook, see it coming through, force the eye of the hook in through the skin. Now look at the length of it, that's too long, so pull the hair down, cut it across, and that gives you a kind of zonker type fly that's balanced. And just let me finish it. Up. And let me take it off and turn it round so you can see the finished article. But we'll fish that way, upside down. You see the long tail and the body and head. Now what you've got to do now, I'll show you what I mean about the balance. You put a bit of nylon through the eye of the hook. And if you look at the lay of that fly, it's lying horizontal. Ease it a wee bit, that's it. You can see the fly is now lying horizontal. Look, my camera's coming up at an angle. You can see it's lying flat along that way. So it's a horizontal balanced fly. And I've never tried these before, so I'll not know what they're going to be like to catch till I try them. So a wee bit tidying up about the fly, and you can see that the eye of the hook, plenty of room to get your nylon through, etc., and the fly will sit horizontal that way. And that is just one that I've seen tied, and I thought that looks pretty good, so I'm going to have a couple of these in my box with some orange, yellow, white, and some black and green. I think that'll do for the winter. They're kind of White Zonkers. If you don't want to fish these big snake flies, that can give you one that you could fish quite happily, and it's a bit bigger than normal. Anyway, again, thanks for watching, and tight lines.